You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome to Be Humane on Pet Life Radio. This is your host, Dr. Robin Gansert, and we're coming at you live tonight from the launch of the brand new Congressional Caucus for the Humane Bond on Capitol Hill. You know, American Humane Association applauds the new Congressional Caucus to make a more humane world for people and animals. And tonight we have some of the biggest human and animal celebrities, from country star Naomi Judd, Candy Spelling, director John Turtletop, to Crystal the Capuchin monkey, convened here in Cannon Room 334 on Capitol Hill to promote this new effort, which is really dedicated to sustaining the healing bond between people and animals. You know, today, American Humane Association applauds the formation of this new Congressional Caucus that'll work to build a more humane world for people and animals. The new Caucus for the Humane Bond is co-chaired by Congressman Gus Bilirakis and Congressman Henry Cuellar, and was created to strengthen the bond between people and animals in working environments, our homes, hospitals, educational settings, the wild, agriculture, and to unleash the power of our connection to benefit and create healthy, sustainable, humane communities. You know, a wide range of stars are with us tonight, including the incredible author, Broadway producer, philanthropist Candy Spelling, country music legend Naomi Judd, who's been on our show multiple times. Movie director John Turtletop from Hollywood has a message for all members of Congress on what it is to be humane. And of course, we have our friends who really epitomize the human-animal bond. Military Hero Dog Team's Corporal Jeff DeYoung, Military Working Dog Cena, Specialist Brent Gromit, and Military Working Dog Maddie, Crystal the Capuchin monkey from Night at the Museum movies, Hudson the dog from our My Idiot Brother and Saturday Night Live, and the 2014 Service Dog Hero Dog Team of the Year, KK and JJ. Yes, what I love is that tonight Miss KK will have a few words of her own for members of Congress, and at her precious age, for her to provide her first testimony to the membership is just a sneak peek into the future that Miss KK has as an animal advocate. You know, I'm pretty thrilled and honored to be here. I have the privilege, thanks to a kind invitation from Congressman Bilirakis and Congressman Cuellar, to speak. And I have to say, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank them both for their vision, for their leadership in creating the Caucus for the Humane Bond. They are truly great Americans. The animal space often, brings out strong emotions and passions, and national dialogue at times can be contentious with competing agendas. But what we all know is that with this caucus and with the membership of this caucus, we share the passion for animals, and we can share that passion based on a 138-year platform of innovating protections that American Humane has done for kids and animals. We know that the best solutions for building humane communities come from the heart as well as the head. So tonight, as we celebrate the launch of this new Congressional Caucus, co-chaired by two great Americans, Gus Bilirakis and Henry Cuellar, we are honored to be a participant, as we recognize with members of Congress the importance of the human-animal bond. I'll be right back after this brief message, and I'm forever grateful for my colleague, Scott Sowers, who's the executive producer of our radio show, who helped facilitate the interviews in tonight's episode. While I was busy with the agenda of the caucus event with the members, my colleague Scott did a great job of providing some behind-the-scenes interviews with the leading stars of the evening. We'll be right back after this brief message.
We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Tired of wasting money on giant boxes of litter that don't work and don't last? Switch to World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter with concentrated power. So even a small bag lasts one cat 30 days. Outstanding odor control, quick lumping, lightweight. It's even flushable. World's Best Cat Litter. Everything else is just litter. Find it near you at www.itsnotjustlitter.com. That's www.itsnotjustlitter.com. 'Cause 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 'C
It's designerpetsweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit designerpetsweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Large or small, we fit them all. designerpetsweaters.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
I'm Scott Sowers, executive producer of Be Humane with Dr. Robin Gansert on Pet Life Radio, and I'm here on Capitol Hill tonight for the launch of the Caucus for the Humane Bond, the newest Congressional Caucus on Capitol Hill. And right now I'm with the bipartisan co-chairs of the caucus, Congressman Gus Bilirakis of Florida and Congressman Henry Cuellar of Texas. So guys, thanks for joining us. If you wouldn't mind, just tell us why you founded this important caucus.
Well, I've been working with veterans for years, vice chair of the committee, and I talk to veterans on a regular basis. One particular veteran came to my office from Virginia, 3 Purple Hearts, and he wasn't doing very well. He had PTS and came back, I believe it was his second tour, and just wasn't doing very well, not reconnecting with his family, just having some personal problems and physical problems as well, on 34 meds. And then a particular nonprofit gave him a service dog and basically changed his life. And I saw, he says, Gus, now I'm only on 2 meds. And I reconnected with my family, and I'm doing very well. So I saw the power of animals, but specifically service dogs. And then I see the therapy dogs, what they do for our children and our aged. So it's just a wonderful thing to do. And Henry's a great co-chair. Philosophically, we're pretty much aligned, even though we're from different parties. And it's obviously a nonpartisan caucus.
Congressman Cuellar.
Well, first of all, I just want to say to my co-chair, Gus, he's a fantastic member. He and I are going to work on getting a lot of members to join this caucus, because I think it's a caucus that I think we got to understand. It's all about passion. You know, I grew up with animals. My father used to run a ranch, so whether it was cattle, whether it was sheep, whether it was deer, Bambi. I used to have a little deer named Bambi. Dogs, cats, rabbits. Even now, you know, we got dogs and cats and rabbits at home. I got 2 daughters, so to me, it's something special. I mean, there's something about, you know, connecting with an animal, and I've learned this from a very, very young age. One of the things we want to do is we want to educate members, and this is where both Gus and I are going to work very hard, and we intend to make this a large bipartisan caucus.
That's incredible, you know, and we've heard so many different stories about the power of the Humane Bond tonight, from the veterans with their service dogs to little KK with her little dog JJ. It's just an amazing story. We've heard about how animals in agriculture, animals in entertainment, there's just so many ways that they interact with our lives. So thank you so much for doing this. It's incredible.
Our pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great evening. I know you guys got to get back to the floor. I'm now joined by probably the most popular man in the room tonight, Tom Gunderson, who is the trainer and the dad of Crystal, the world-famous Capuchin animal star, who you know from Dr. Dolittle, The Hangover Part 2, Night at the Museum, and just so many movies and TV shows. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Thank you for having us.
And Crystal, you're looking beautiful in your pink dress tonight.
What do you say? You say thank you? Can you say thank you? Yes? I think she'd rather lick the microphone.
Yeah, she seems to be pawing it. I think she's had a busy night. Everyone in the room, from congressmen and women, staffers, celebrities, they all wanted their picture with Crystal. She was definitely the star attraction.
You know, we get that pretty much everywhere we go.
Well, it's hard not to with a monkey on your shoulder. Is this your first time on the Hill?
This actually is. I've been to Washington, D.C. once before, but it was just to do some television appearances, and this was really something special. I've never been here. It was very electrifying to be, right here where everything happens, where laws are made, and it's just indescribable.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, one of the things that our speakers talked about tonight was the important role animals play in our lives, which is why Congressman Bilirakis and Cuellar founded the Caucus for the Humane Bond. And one of those biggest ways that they have a role in our lives is through entertainment. And Crystal is certainly no stranger to really anyone who's ever watched a movie or TV show. So talk a little bit about the bond that people have with animals in entertainment.
I think when someone watches a TV show or a film with an animal, they can connect on some level. If there's a dog and they have a dog at home, they can really relate to what's going on screen. With Crystal, since not most people have monkeys and really shouldn't because they don't make good pets, it kind of opens their eyes to what they're capable of doing, how intelligent they are, and hopefully they'll do something to preserve the species that are out there in the wild. She acts as a very good ambassador for her wild cousins, and we even travel around the country to various schools doing educational presentations, and we've done numerous fundraisers relying on her star power, and it's been very successful.
And certainly it's not just the bond that moviegoers and audiences have with animal stars. It's what the trainers have with their animals as well, which is certainly why Robin wrote the book Animal Stars, Behind the Scenes with Favorite Animal Actors. And you and Crystal have a special featured chapter in the book. So talk a little bit about the bond that you personally have with her and that your family does.
Absolutely. She kind of looks at this as a mate relationship. I look at it more as father-daughter. And I treat her a lot like I do my own children. I have 2 children, a son and a daughter, that were actually raised with her, and she's integrated into our home and has worked a wonderful relationship with everyone in my family.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And if you read the book, you'll just hear so many different stories about how people like Tom and trainers like Christina Potter, who you'll hear a little bit later on today's show with Hudson, just the bond that they have with their own animals, because it truly is a member of their family, and it's not just an employee or anything like that.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, is she your pet? And I say, she's more my colleague, my coworker, and even more a special member of the family at this point.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Tom. As I said, you can read more about Tom and Crystal in Robin Ganzert's book, Animal Stars, Behind the Scenes with Your Favorite Animal Actors. And, Crystal has been really special to American Humane Association. This year, it's the 75th anniversary of our No Animals Are Harmed program, and we gave her a Lifetime Achievement Award, the Lifetime Diva Achievement Award.
Yeah, the Poskers. That was a very special event and a very memorable evening for us.
Thanks so much, Tom.
Thank you.
We're here with a very special family at the official launch for the Caucus for the Humane Bond with the Kralzik family. We've got Michelle and John, who are the parents of the beautiful KK. And KK is here with her service dog, JJ, who is the winner of the service dog category of the 2014 Hero Dog Awards. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So, KK, tell us, you got to actually speak up there at the podium. Tell us a little bit about why you're here tonight.
Because JJ saves my life.
How does she save your life? She's just a little dog. What's so special about JJ?
She senses when I'm having a reaction and she alerts to my mom and goes and gets a kit.
That's just amazing, and it's really just one of the literally billions of different stories you can tell about the importance of the Humane Bond. There's just this little dog, but she is larger than life, and she has saved this little girl's life on numerous occasions, and I know it makes things worlds easier for her parents.
Yes, it does. We definitely sleep a lot better now that we have JJ here. Before, we would take turns getting up in the middle of the night to check on her, and now we just know that JJ's on watch at all times.
And so these guys are always inseparable, right? They're never really apart, right?
They do everything together. They go to school together. They sleep together. JJ does everything KK does. So JJ, a lot of service dogs get placed into different types of families, but JJ unfortunately got an 8-year-old girl who has to ride the train at the mall, and she has to play at the playground, go down the slide with her, and JJ does everything KK does.
Well, that's just incredible. And just a reminder to our listeners, we have the semifinalists right now in the 2015 Hero Dog Awards. I'm Scott Sowers, executive producer of Be Humane with Dr. Robin Ganzert. You're listening to Pet Life Radio.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Active for Pets is a new wellness platform and app that helps pet parents save time and money on their vet bills. Stop paying for unnecessary vet treatments. Consult with a vet online. Get unlimited access to your pet's entire health history from any computer or smartphone with the Active for Pets app. Vaccinations, medications, test results, and more. Active 4 Pets gives you access to a team of expert vets for non-emergency care. Make an appointment before, during, or after office hours. Skip the waiting room and get a secure online vet consult on your schedule. Taking care of your pets is as easy as it gets with Active 4 Pets. Ready to try Active 4 Pets? Listeners get 40% off a 1-year membership. To get this great offer, use promo code PETLIFE on the sign-up page of active4pets.com. That's ACTIV, the number 4, PETS.com. Or call 888-512-2848.
Hey everybody, this is Tim Link, the host of Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Got some exciting news for you here today. My audiobook is now available. Wagging Tails, Every Animal Has a Tail is now available in audiobook form through audible.com, amazon.com, and iTunes. It's a collection of 32 conversations I've had with the animals. It's a fun, interesting, heartfelt book that's suitable for all age groups. So everybody pick up a copy of the audiobook, Wagging Tails, Every Animal Has a Tail. You'll be glad you did.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
I'm Scott Sowers, executive producer of Be Humane with Dr. Robin Gansert on Pet Life Radio, and I'm here on Capitol Hill tonight for the launch of the Caucus for the Humane Bond. Well, as we've learned tonight, one of the many ways that animals interact with our lives is through entertainment. There are so many animals working in Hollywood today in our favorite TV shows and movies, and this year American Humane Association's No Animals Are Harmed program is celebrating 75 years of protecting animal stars, and we're joined here tonight by an animal star and his trainer. We have Hudson the Golden Retriever and his trainer, Christina Potter. They've both frequent guests on the show, but they are so kind to join us here on Capitol Hill tonight.
It is our pleasure to be here with all this fantastic company and all of you guys, and we really appreciate you guys including us in this.
Well, it's just incredible. You know, we've had Hudson here, and we also have Crystal the Capuchin. So just talk a little bit about the bond that you see in Hollywood with animals and people.
Well, I think the most important thing to understand is that the reason animals work so well in entertainment is because they themselves enjoy the bond. And the bond is formed by, that interaction, that training, that I want to please you and you're making me happy. I think it's important to have animals in entertainment because a lot of us, the only exposure we have to some animals growing up are through entertainment. I grew up in a big city. If I didn't have movies like Lassie or Benji or stuff like that, I probably wouldn't know as many dog breeds as I do.
Yeah, and we had earlier this year, we had our Paw Score Awards where we had America pick its favorite dog and cat stars of all time. So America actually named the greatest dog star of all time as Lassie, which everyone has seen on movies and TV. So it's just incredible.
It is incredible. And as a child, you fantasize that the dog is actually saying what you want them to say. But as we've seen today, some of these dogs really are communicating at a much higher level and can sense things at a much higher level than people used to think they could.
And, speaking of milestones, one of the biggest accomplishments of Hudson's career, he was in the 2011 film Already a Brother with Paul Rudd, but he was also famous for his many appearances on Saturday Night Live, including a memorable one as Mitt Romney's dog during the 2012 election. And it was actually one of the top moments at SNL's 40th anniversary special. So how did you guys think about seeing that in their montage of their greatest ever political clips?
Well, it was very exciting. It was an honor for us to be included because they have thousands of hours of clips, and the fact that they picked him. And on that note, Hudson has been walking through the building looking for Mitt Romney and is kind of disappointed he hasn't been able to find him.
Well, I think Mitt Romney is probably trying to avoid...
Hudson.
Well, does Hudson have anything to say, just being here on Capitol Hill with all these congressmen and women? Thank you, Hudson. Well said. And thank you, Christina, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
One of the many examples of the Humane Bond is with therapy dogs, just bringing the healing power of animal-assisted therapy to people who need it most, whether they're in hospitals or in prisons or they just need a helping paw. And one of our famous therapy dog handlers is with us tonight, Janet Brake, who's here with her Italian Greyhound, Pepe, who is a registered therapy dog.
Hi, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for joining us. So talk about what you and Pepe do. I understand you visit with libraries. You've been to some of our Operation Purple camps.
We have done some of the Operation Purple camps. Early in Pepe's career, he also did nursing homes, but more recently we handled the Laurel and Bowie Library Read to Rover programs where we help children gain confidence with their verbal reading skills.
That's wonderful. And, this is not Pepe's first visit to Capitol Hill. I know that you've actually been with us a couple times. Talk about a couple of those other visits here to the Hill.
Our first visit was last year with the Canines and Childhood Cancer Study. What a remarkable event. I cannot wait to find out what they find in the studies. I think it is so exciting to be able, or for a child to be able to have access to a therapy animal while they are undergoing such a difficult treatment. My own father died of cancer several years back, pancreatic cancer. And while my dad did not necessarily want his kids around to see him as he was declining in health, he was blessed to have Peppy around and wanted his own therapy animal by his side as he continued to decline in health and eventually die. And, just from firsthand experience, Peppy was always there when he was very, very sick, not feeling well. Peppy even actually brought the last smile to his face on Earth.
That's just incredible. We hear so many stories every day of what therapy dogs do for people who need it most.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, most definitely. Even in the libraries, it's always very heartening to see the kids read to the dogs and gain the confidence that they need. Reading is not easy, especially when you're doing it verbally. I struggled as a child to read verbally aloud, and it's always great to be able to give something back to society and help those who had the same struggles I did.
We had a pretty full room tonight at this event, and I think Pepe can actually take credit for that. Can you tell our listeners why?
Well, Pepe was asked by Congressman Bilirakis to hand out invitations to select members of Congress to help launch this caucus for the Humane Bond. So we walked, which I think it was the Rayburn building, correct? And we actually made it through the Rayburn building and met and greeted as many people as we could and handed out invitations to those we thought would enjoy being part of this caucus. So we helped get the word out.
Well, that's just incredible. Dogs and really all animals just do so much for our lives. So thank you so much for joining us, Janet.
Thank you very much. And thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. We're here with Sean Heffernan, who's joining us on Capitol Hill for the launch of the Caucus for the Humane Bond. Sean, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So what do you think of all these different animals we have in the room? We got dogs and monkeys, and I guess, there's probably all kinds of jokes you can make about animals on Capitol Hill, but it's pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah, you certainly could make the jokes, but in all honesty, it's a great cause out here. It's much more than just the animals, it's their owners as well. It speaks towards the larger bond between owner and animal and what that means to humans in everyday life, be it a war vet or an individual with a disability. It's just a great cause, and we're glad to see all these people out here.
Well, Sean, thanks for joining us. I know we appreciate you coming out and learning what we have to say about the importance of the Humane Bond.
Yeah, and I appreciate your time, and this has been a great event, and I'm glad to see all these people out here. You guys are doing a great thing.
This is your host, Dr. Robin Gansert. You've heard some of the most exciting interviews from tonight's launch of the Congressional Caucus for the Humane Bond. This very special event has been created by Congressman Gus Bilirakis and Congressman Henry Cuellar, launching this brand new caucus on Capitol Hill for members of Congress to celebrate our shared values of compassion, caring, and hope. You know what I love is what Congressman Bilirakis said tonight. He said, quote, "From kids with cancer to veteran dog handlers and their dogs, animals have played important roles in the lives of people. It's up to all of us to promote those roles in ways that benefit both people and animals." End quote. That's Congressman Gus Bilirakis speaking tonight about the importance of the Congressional Caucus for the Humane Bond. His founding co-chair for the caucus, Henry Cuellar, Congressman Cuellar from Texas, said, "Animals comfort, protect, entertain, and sustain us. It's important for all of us to make sure the bond works to benefit animals and people and create a more humane and sustainable world." Congressman Gus Bilirakis and Congressman Henry Cuellar, our hats are off to you from all of us at American Humane Association. We applaud your efforts to bring this incredible education, research, and science to help us all explore that healing power, that sustainable power of the human-animal bond. And tonight we heard from so many wonderful friends, celebrity supporters of animals and their powerful roles in our lives, explained how the caucus efforts will benefit both humans and their creatures who share our world with us. You know what I love is what Candy Spelling said. She said, I have two passions in life, helping children and animals, which is why I'm so excited about this congressional forum. She also said, one of the biggest goals for this caucus is to find and support ways that animals and people can work together and mutually benefit each other. What powerful words, Candy. Thank you so much for participating in tonight's event. And one of our wonderful friends at the association is huge film director, John Turtletop. He said in a powerful message to members of Congress, quote, in some deep way, animals make us human and more humane. Animals in entertainment have also served as ambassadors to millions, making us fall in love with them, understand our common bond, and care for creatures that are both familiar and those we might not otherwise have a chance to meet up close. Wow. Mr. Turtletop, those are powerful message that you shared on the Hill tonight, and thank you so much for being part of this launch event. Naomi Judd opened the caucus program tonight with a very fascinating statement about the science of the bond, the science that really has helped to uplift our relationship with animals. She said, last year I was invited by Gus Bilirakis to speak at Capitol Hill briefing on the topic of canines and childhood cancer, exploring how therapy dogs can help young cancer patients. Naomi went on to say, I was able to share some of my stories from my years as a nurse. I personally know and experienced the healing power that dogs and other animals can have on people who need them most. You know, she went on to explain that she has personally witnessed the powerful role that dogs have in sniffing out cancer of their beloved human companions, sniffing out epilepsy in advance of seizures. And of course, she also shared her personal stories about the powerful work of police dogs and military dogs that she has seen and witnessed firsthand. Well, tonight was indeed a Capitol Hill celebration worth remembering. And again, our hats are off. All of us at American Humane Association cheer and applaud the launch of this caucus for the Humane Bond, which was created by Congressman Gus Bilirakis and Congressman Henry Cuellar. This bipartisan caucus for the Humane Bond is devoted to bringing common sense, scientific, and rational dialogue to the issues surrounding the physical, emotional, and even the medical connections between humans and animals. This caucus is going to play an important role in strengthening the humane bond between people and animals in working environments, in our homes, in hospitals, in educational settings, in the wild, and in agriculture, unleashing the power of our connection that benefits us all and helps us to build more humane communities. Friends, this has been, certainly a wish of all of us in the animal space and in the humane movement to see a new congressional forum for dialogue on the issues that we hold so dear. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode as we were all participating live from the Congressional Caucus for the Humane Bond launch in Cannon in room 334, the Veteran Affairs Room on Capitol Hill. For those of you, please learn more at AmericanHumane.org and certainly tune in to next week's episode of Be Humane on Pet Life Radio. Thanks for listening, and remember this week and every week, whether you're on Capitol Hill or in Topeka, Kansas, or in Houston, Texas, or in Los Angeles, California, let's all remember to be humane.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.